Shalom, 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 Israel. Shalom to you, my brothers and sisters. This is your brother Maury, YAH Israel, right here for Liberation Tabernacle of YAH, coming to you once again with another video. And I want to say shalom to my good brother, my beloved brother, Maury David Israel, who's also the other Maury and founder right here for Liberation Tabernacle of YAH. All praises and all glory and all honor goes to none other than our King, our cherisher, our sustainer, our true creator, that is the creator of the heavens and the earth. We say in the Hebrew language, we call him in the Hebrew language, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahuwah, however some wish to try to pronunciate it. We greatly thank the Most High Yah for this blessed day that he has bestowed upon us one more time. And we thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in for this video and all the videos that you tune in to right here, Liberation Tabernacle of YAH. Today I just want to come in here briefly and talk about and kind of discuss, and because there was a question that was asked, what do we actually teach right here at Liberation Tabernacle of YAH? What do we actually teach, or basically what do we truly believe right here at Liberation Tabernacle of YAH? And I want to send a shout out to, I think it's LaFleur TV, hoping I'm saying your name right, my brother, who asked these questions. First, the question that was asked, and we did a video on this before, the Maury David Israel and myself. We did a video on this before. We don't teach the Esau doctrine, but there still was a question that was asked. Brother probably hadn't seen the video. Is Esau the Caucasian? Is Esau the Caucasian? Well, I would say here at the Tabernacle of YAH, we don't get into teaching the Esau doctrine, that Esau is the white man doctrine and all of that stuff. We don't get into teaching that, basically, so we did an actual video on that, so I'm not really going to get into that deep. There's a video in the archive. Y'all can check that out. But we don't get into all of that teaching that the Esau is the white man, but actually we say it on the video. No. But we don't get into teaching that here. That's not a doctrine that we teach inside of the tabernacle. Now, another thing, we don't get into all of this racial doctrine. I would say the racial doctrine inside of the tabernacle. We just don't have time. We just don't deal with all of that bull crap, because I'm going to tell y'all like this here, brothers and sisters. I found, and my brother Maury, see, we see and we look at things as it really is. Like David and I, we used to practice Islam. We just studied the teachings of the Nation of Islam as well. Now, David, my brother David Israel, he was a member of the Nation of Islam. I was Sunni, but I studied the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And, where he taught that the white man is the devil, this, that, and another. But he also taught that that anybody can turn devil at any time. Now, I also was a Nawabi, and Dr. York written a book, We See You Black Devil, the Black Devil. So we know that we some people get into all of that, the white man, the devil doctrine. But hell, when I look out into society and I look out and the dealings that I've been having and have had with black people, hell, we can be the most evilest, wickedest people on the damn planet Earth as well. So, and I'm having some things that I've been dealing with as of late. Man, black people are some wicked ass people too. So no, I don't get into all of that racial doctrine, talking about the white man, the devil, this person is a devil. Hell, all people on the planet has the capability of being good, what we call good, and bad, what y'all say good, evil, wicked, whatever, right? All people on the planet has that in them, and all people on the planet have done a lot of wicked things. So we don't indulge in teaching that. We don't have time, because that's that's not Tanakh anyway. So and I want to say, I forgot, I want to throw this out. And as I was saying, because some things that I've been getting into late, I want to say, may the Most High bless the soul and the journey of my mother who transitioned on Tuesday. So that's why a lot of time, y'all, I mean, lately I hadn't really been doing any videos because like, you know, she had been in the hospital for like 2 months, you know, dealing with some things. And on Tuesday she made a transition. So, you know, may the peace and blessings of the Most High. And I pray her journey was a peaceful journey to the other side. But yeah, so brothers and sisters, so yeah, our thing here, what we're truly trying to do here at the tabernacle and convey the message, our thing, what we're trying to do here at the tabernacle is focus more on the principles of the teachings of the Tanakh. Yeah, because we're a Tanakh only congregation, no doubt about that. We are Tanakh only congregation. And our, like I said, the thing is that we're trying to, we look at the Tanakh, we look at the stories that's pertaining to the Tanakh, and we go in and we learn the principles of the stories. Like they taught us in school, what is the moral of the stories? What is the moral of the story? So that is our thing, what we're looking at. So when we look at everything that Israel was doing, the being a disobedient and all of these type of things, after they were told, don't do this. If you do this, like Deuteronomy 28, talk about Deuteronomy 28, you know, if you obey me in my instructions, this will happen. These good things will happen to you. But if you disobey, these things will happen to you. So we go in and we look at that, and not to try to insert ourselves into the thing. And this is what is happening with a lot of brothers and sisters here, as far as the so-called, as we say, the so-called Hebrew Israelite or the Israelite community. We are so, and I'm not trying to bash nobody, but we're trying to insert ourselves into the story instead of trying to and make it like the story's all about us, when we just supposed to look at the story, right? And get an example, look at these things as an example of how we should not be as a people. Because we look at how the stories of Israel were hard-headed, like I said, a hard-headed, stiff-necked people who did not ever want to truly obey the instructions of the Most High. So we supposed to look at these stories and say, I don't want to be like them people, man. That was some hard-headed people. You know, we want to be better than them. We want to be better. We don't want to go down that road, right? Because we see what befall those people of that time. So that is what we try to do here at the tabernacle. Look at the stories and learn from their mistakes. And that is why we go in and look at it, and not to try to fit ourselves into the story and say, see, this is happening to us right here today. Well, yeah, it could be, because you're mirroring some of the mistakes that those people did. If you say, well, this is happening to us today, befalling us. See, the white man, he put us into slavery. Well, that means that when you're going down the same road that your ancestors went down, because you have made those same mistakes. You didn't learn your lesson. So this is the story. You didn't learn the lessons. You hadn't read those stories, and you didn't learn not to be like them, not to be like your forefathers. If you're saying that these things are happening to you today, this is something you're not doing right. It's something you're not doing right. Why these things? Because they say what history repeats itself, right? So you're repeating the same mistake that your forefathers and foreparents made, right? Instead of looking at them and like, hey, we ain't doing that. We're gonna be better than our foreparents. Because every parent try to teach their children to be better than them. Do things better than they did. Don't make the same mistakes that they did when they were growing up, right? Haven't y'all had that? I have. So, you know, here the tabernacle, we do not, and I repeat, we do not believe in this thing, the concept of how the word Mashiach, mean the anointed, how it's been changed, right? And let me tell you how it has been changed to waiting and believing on some savior figure to come and save us. We do not And I repeat, because this is a must that I say this, we do not believe and hold to that as a teaching and a doctrine that somebody is coming to save us. No. Damn sure ain't Yahshua. Damn sure ain't Yahweh. And not even Moses. I know some of y'all don't, because there are some Tanakh only brothers and sisters. Like I said, this is not a bash on anybody, y'all. But some there's the Tanakh congregations in Tanakh who said that David is coming back because they read what it was in the scriptures and said that David is coming back and he's gonna be. But y'all gotta understand again, when you're reading these stories, these principles, and all of these things were for what they believed in ancient times and what times were. And I know y'all could say it was a prophecy, but y'all gotta understand. This is where we're talking about when people get into hermeneutics and things. Hermeneutics, was exegesis and eisegesis and things of this nature. Who was that audience that the prophet was talking to at that time, and who he was relating his message to? So that's why I say a lot of things we're relating, because we're saying this is a prophecy. We're trying to relate these things, these prophecies to us in this day and these times and whatever time it was. We're trying to relate these things to us. But these things are even if they didn't come to pass at the time, this is what like Jeremiah, Isaiah was relating his message to Israel, those people at that time. And like certain things that he was telling them, we see that, it said the Most High Yah said, if y'all don't do this, this is going to happen. And like people take Deuteronomy 28, y'all know my stance on Deuteronomy 28 and 68. I'm not going to get into that. There's a video on this already. I said that it had nothing to do with us as a transatlantic slave trade. When we really read it and go into the scriptures, and we'll see that did happen in Israel. It's in the Bible. It's in the Tanakh. But anyway, it's another whole story. You can disbelieve it or whatever. You can disagree. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But here at the Tabernacle, it's just a lot of things that we're just trying to get people to understand the principles. And even for a matter of fact, a brother asked me as well, all the let me see this. Are the stories in the Bible literal? That's a good question. Are the stories in the Bible literal? I said, now I kind of gave a no answer. Now I say no, and I should bring all of them are not literal. There are some things that we have to understand again. For example, when I say no, I'm not talking about all of them are not literal, but it's certain things, like you take the Genesis story, for a matter of fact, the creation story. Because those who study a lot of things, ancient history, and a lot of ancient cultures and things, right? Which I had the pleasure of doing that as an Awabian. We studied a little bit of everything as an Awabian. You was all over the place studying everything. Studied ancient Sumerian doctrine, and all of these type of things. We went into obvious. We studied a lot of Kemetic things. And if you study a lot of things, I have a Bible over there that has a lot of those ancient creation stories in it. And even if you go with that, because I mentioned Samaria and Mesopotamia and things of that nature, because even you go back to Abraham, because you remember he came from Ur Chaldea, right? Ur Chaldea. Now, and I can remember now, they said Moses the one who written the Genesis story. So where did he get this from? Because we know he wasn't there in the beginning. So where did he get it from? So a lot of things I've even heard from some of the rabbis that talked about, and it made sense to me, because I always ask that question. Oh, damn, Moses went there. How he know? And he know how to write the story about Abraham. How would he know? And it made sense because they said, well, through Judaic teaching, and it talked about how, well, these things were passed down. Moses was writing from oral tradition, and it made sense to me. I'm like, okay, I can see that now. I can see that, because it was oral tradition that had been passed down. So it's like, that's how he would have written the story of Abraham, through oral tradition, because like I said, he wasn't there at that time. So it was like, okay, I can see that, But even when you go and you study any ancient culture and civilization, different ancient civilizations and cultures, you will see that all of them have their own, as we would say, Genesis or beginning story or creation story. I don't care if you go into the Dogon cosmology, the Dogon tribe of Mali, they have a creation story. Like I said, we know ancient Egypt, or Kemet as they say, had one. The Sumerians, the Enumalish, and all of that, they give the flood story, the Gilgamesh epics. So we know this is, when we're reading Genesis, that is just one of, as we would say, the Hebrew, or we can't even really say Israelite yet because it wasn't Israel, the tribe of Israel yet. But these are just some stories, like even like if you get into Judaism, I'm not saying I follow Judaism, but there's some aspects I research and I understand, and I follow some principles because they got it from the Israelite tradition. But anyway, there are certain things they have. There's Jewish mythology and Jewish folklore. Like, any of y'all ever heard of Lilith? The thing about Lilith, they said Adam's first wife. You would never read that in the Bible or the Tanakh, but that is certain things that's in Jewish folklore mythology, that they talk about Adam's first wife, who was Lilith. But it's not actually, it's not in the Torah though. But that's some thing in Judaism that they have as a folklore. So these are just, the Genesis story is just it's just our, and I'm just going to use this term, Hebrews or Israelites, as our creation story. And there's many other that goes way before, even like they said, the Bible. You might hear some of the Kemetic people that talk about this. Well, this was written before the Bible ever came about, and that's and true. Because like I said, I got into the Sumerian doctrine. I think it's the Enumalish tablets that goes into the creation story. But that's because who was there, y'all? Answer that question. Who would have been there to write down how we got here in the first place? No one but the Creator. So we all have our we create myth stories. That's how ancient people did. They created had mythology and things to explain something, the unexplainable, that we just don't know, y'all. We just don't know. So we try to, they came up with stories and things to explain it. So this is just, when you read Genesis, it's just one of the things. And then going into Adam and Eve, and you go deep into that story, and that is to get us to learn things about ourselves. And, so it's some deep stuff, man. Like I said, going into learning the principles. So I would say, no, not everything is literal, but it's for our learning to go in and learn these stories, to get an understanding about our lives and how we supposed to be functioning. Even though it might not be literal, but it's a great understanding teaching tool in these stories, right? So, some people like, man, how you say you believe in the Bible? How you believe in the Bible, bro? You say it ain't real. I didn't say it wasn't real. It's not literal, but it's an understanding, allegory. This is how ancient people, see, we study ancient philosophies and stuff. See, sometimes I think we make things out of religion. A lot of people, we have made religious lies. I don't know if I said that right, y'all. We religious a lot of things, I will say. We made things out of religion. We make things out of religion. And when you go back and study, like I said, you study ancient cultures and civilizations and how these people thought, the principles of how they thought about things and their philosophies and outlook on things. And see, we're thinking now with this modern mind, instead of just like, okay, what were they thinking back in the day? What were they really thinking? So when we're really reading the Tanakh and story of the Israelites, and it's about how the ancient Israelite brothers and sisters, how their relationship with the Creator, their relationship. This is the great things about the Torah that we're supposed to be looking at. How they interacted with the Creator, and how they truly believed in the things that they done. And so we're supposed to look at these things and just look at our lives and see how we're functioning. And if somebody was writing, like, because right now we're making history, if somebody is documenting our lives and how we're doing, we look at like how we are having a relationship with the Creator, our relationship with the Creator. So that's what we're really reading, truly about how Israelites of that time, how they interact and how they related, how their relationship was as a nation with the Creator. So we're really right here at Liberation Tabernacle, y'all. Like I said, we don't get into all of that waiting on no Messiah. We're not waiting on nobody to come back. We're taking these stories and we're learning how to save ourselves. Well, first of all, I gotta go back. Not say, well, Yah is giving us the instructions how we can stay out of a lot of trouble. But Yah is our only Savior. He's our only God. We're not waiting on nobody else to come and save us. We just like we look at the story with Moses when he was in the the children of Israel was in Kemet with Egypt. And who did Yah come down to save the children of Israel? Did he send somebody out of the Shemayim, out of the heavens to come save? As they talk about Jesus, did he send somebody to come and save them? No, he did not. What did he do? He rose up Moses. He gave Moses the instructions on how to go and get the people. He said one that was already. So, we ain't waiting on nobody to jump out of the sky, come back, no spaceship, no sham, no nobody. We ain't waiting on none of that, y'all. And we're going to save ourselves. And the children of Israel, they went in and they got the land themselves. They didn't send no one man to come in they went in and they got the land of Canaan, them as a tribe. So we're going to have to get out of our situation with the help of Yah and the guidance of Yah. Because Yah is our only Savior. He's our only deliverer. That's what we ought to understand, y'all. Yah is our only salvation. He is our only deliverer. And that's why Christianity knows. And that's why they try to make Jesus as God in flesh. They try to make him be Yah and say, well, since Jesus is God in flesh, he is our deliverer. He's our Savior. No. Because they know there's only one that's going to be our deliverer and our Savior. But they just try to make Jesus him in flesh, try to make Jesus Yah in flesh, and say he's our, because they know Isaiah, what Isaiah was saying. He's our only Savior. He's our only deliverer. There is none else. That's why they teach that Jesus is the one who created the heavens and earth, as Isaiah was saying. There is none. There was none before, and there won't be none after. They just flip it, put Jesus in there, in the place of Yah, and making Jesus be Yah. So we at Tanakh only, we know better than that. So we're not teaching that nobody is coming back, not even King David, to be our king, but we teach the true meaning of a Mashiach, what the true meaning of Mashiach was, those who were anointed as kings, and the Levites as those who was in authority. We're not changing it as Judaism has changed it. We're not changing it as Christianity has changed it. We're really trying to stand on the principles and the teaching as our brothers and sisters, ancient Israelites, would have. Because we know Judaism came along and usurped some things out of our ancient Israelite tradition. And they, mix some things, and they took some great principles and still hold on to some great principles, but they actually changed a lot of things and made it their own way from our original way, and then Christianity taking from that, and then we know Islam taking from that. So we know, come on, brothers and sisters, but yeah, we're not here to tabernacle. We're not trying to insert ourselves primarily into the story, make it about us right here today, but we know that a lot of those stories can relate to us and mirror things to us if we don't do what is right. I mean, because if we don't take heed to and look at these stories, look at the principles, and take heed to what they did wrong, some things will befall upon us. Because like I said, it ain't nothing new under the sun. Because there's a warning. Like we read when you're reading Proverbs, the wisdom that Solomon was trying to give his sons. We can take that. Like one thing it says, we talked about, I should have had my scriptures in front of me. Don't stand in the congregation of the wicked. Don't stand in the congregation of the wicked. You know, like people tell you, hey man, like mom used to tell you when you was little, don't be hanging around them bad little boys. But I'm telling you, quit hanging around that bad crowd. You hang around them, something bad eventually gonna happen to you. That's what Solomon was telling his son. Don't stand in the congregation of the wicked. So we can actually take that and okay. Sorry y'all, I gotta get ready to get out of here. I got some things coming out here today. Some tech. I know it's Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I don't know if I said that first of all, because this video is recorded this morning for Shabbat. So yeah. So we have to. So Tanakh, the tabernacle here. So we're not teaching as everybody else would be teaching. It's not knocking how somebody else teaches. We're just trying to show here. We don't have our own doctrine. We don't have a made-up doctrine. We're coming from Tanakh, and we're just trying to teach. And we're as mores mean teachers. We're teaching the principles and what these stories, going into these stories and learning and extracting what were these prophets saying? What were they really trying to teach Israel? What were they warning Israel? Because they were warning the people. And this is what people be saying, well, when they get into talk about prophecies, it's like these things have to happen. Like, see, they said it was prophesied that this was going to happen. No. Yah always gave us options. This is why he said, he gave you instructions though, don't do certain things. But he told you as well, if you did this, this would happen to you. Like he told Cain. Sin, what was it? Is it Genesis about a sheep 4 and 6? Off the top of my head, I think that's what it is. I need my scriptures, y'all. All of my books over there. Okay, let me see here. Let me get this right fast. I got a Tanakh right here. He said that no, sin crouches at the door. Sin crouches at the door. And but you can rule over it. So, when people like saying, man, we all born sinners, and they like, Christianity try to teach we all born sinners, and basically there's nothing we can do because one man sin, all that. That's a flat out lie. We don't have a creator like that, man. We don't really have a creator like that gonna blame you for everything that somebody else did. We know better than that. That's why I said that every man has to be responsible for his own man's sin. I'm trying to find this part right here, brothers and sisters. Now this is here my commentary on the Tanakh. This is a commentary on the Tanakh, but it has Tanakh in its scripture. But yeah, let's go to Genesis 4 and 6, and it says, we're gonna just read here. And Yahweh said to Cain, why are you upset, and why has your face fallen? And verse 7, is it not that if you do well, you will be raised, and if you do not do well, then sin crouches at the threshold, and its desire will be for you, and you're dominated. Then you are dominated. And man, I wish I had the other translations. But even though it says sin crouches at the door, right? Out Cain. Okay, I got another one. Even though sin crouches at the door, Cain, it says that you can rule or dominate over it. But he says here, it says Yahweh says that, why are you falling? Why your conscience falling? Is it not that if you do well, you will be raised? He said, if you not do well, you will be raised. He told him, if you know, he said, so he was saying, you can do it. You can do it. It's on you, Cain. It's on you. Whatever you do. Whatever you desire, you can change. Y'all give us the options, man. It's on us. He give us a choice. But it's a consequence, behind some of the choices. Like they always tell you, it's a consequence behind some of the choices you make. It's a consequence what others make. Now here's the King James version. We're just going to go to Genesis 4 and 7. We just go to 7. It says, if thou will, shalt thou not be accepted? He asking a question. There's a question mark there. And if thou does not well, Sin lies at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over it. So Cain had a choice. He had an option to go ahead and do well, right? He had an option to do well. So it was all on him. What he desired, if he wanted to do well or not. It was on him, right? So that is our thing, brothers and sisters. Y'all want us to do the right thing, as Spike Lee would say it. He want us to do the right thing. But if we don't do the right things in life, there's consequences behind it. It's like people talk about eating pork. In the Christian community, that's why I'm meaning bringing this up, because boy, they serious when you get to talk about them eating pork. And I tell a lot of people, Christians who want to, want to fight with, if you bring that up. And I said, well, first of all, I asked them, because they be talking about some Israelites told them about eating pork. I said, well, I tell y'all, I'm going to ask you this, brother. Do you consider yourself an Israelite? No. I said, well, actually, brother, technically, being technical, he wasn't talking to you then. I said, because he was talking to Moses, was talking to the children of Israel, and y'all was talking to the children of Israel. He was giving them instruction. I said, I'm not telling you to eat no pork. I said, but I'm an Israelite. I said, I acknowledge myself as being an Israelite and following the principles of Israel. I said, so I don't eat it. I said, not only just that, I said, even the Muslims don't even eat it. I said, but Yah gave it to them as just reasons why, if you even look at it, brother, health reasons. So it just wasn't so. I said, I wouldn't even eat it now that I know better, and whether I follow the Bible or not. I said, not health reasons that I know, I wouldn't even eat it. I said, but the thing, okay, you want to, go ahead. But I said, there's reasons why, implication, because especially if you as a so-called black man and woman, brother, we are the highest people who can have what they call hypertension, high blood pressure, and all of this type of stuff. I said, so that's a consequence. So, hey, if you want to eat it, go. Hey, I'm not gonna force you. I'm not your Most High. I ain't forcing you not to eat it. I said, but then there's gonna be a consequence. Later on, you might say, well, I've been eating it 20, 30 years, but then later on, you get down the line, you be having high blood pressure and all this other crazy crap, and then they tell you it come from, they ain't gonna tell you it come from eating pork, but anyway, you start getting them little worms all in your head and all in your eyes and all them stuff, them parasites from eating that. That's the consequence. That's the consequences. So you can do what you want to do, but there's a consequence. That's what y'all be saying, is a consequence. So going back again, I know I jumped somewhere else, y'all. My mind just be running. But going back with the prophets, what prophets saying, so that the prophets are there to warn the people. It ain't saying that this is gonna happen to you. It's guaranteed this gonna happen to you. It's guaranteed this gonna happen to you. Come on, man. But Yah brings warners. That's what they're like. Even when I was studying Islam, David and I, we were studying Islam, and we understand the Quran. They said he sent messengers and warners to every nation of people, so they cannot say nobody never came to them. Let me say it again. He bring a messenger and a warner. What is a warner? What are you sending a warner for? It's like we have before tornadoes or thunderstorm come. I know a lot of these schools, I know here in Memphis, they have like these big horns on top of the buildings. When somebody there detect the weather meteorologists detect a tornado or something is coming, what do? They sound these horns off, those loud horns, to what? Warn you, notify you there's a storm or something on the way. So get yourself in a position of safety, a warning. So Yah does the same thing. When we as a nation, we as a people start getting off the right track and start going down the wrong road and start cutting up, acting a fool, being disobedient, what will Yah do before destruction? He will send us a messenger or a warner to warn us, hey, y'all, hey, look here. Y'all cutting up. Y'all like the fool, you getting out of hand. Y'all said y'all better do this here. Y'all said you need to do this. Get back on the right path. Start following his instructions. Start following his teachings. Or else this is getting ready to happen to y'all. This is getting ready to happen to y'all. So y'all see all these storms and everything that's been happening? How this heat wave, this record heat wave have been hitting United States. And just not only United States, there's other places all around the world. How look at the weather patterns. Now they're gonna call it climate control. They're gonna say it's called climate control. I was saying, wait, yeah, they right. YAH is controlling the climate. YAH is the one who's controlling the climate, but you know what they're gonna say. They just gonna put it on climate control and things and whatever they want, how they want to fix it up. Yeah, YAH is controlling the climate. I got you. I agree with that. He is controlling the climate, but they just ain't saying YAH is controlling it. But y'all look at the weather patterns. So anyway, these prophecies don't have to happen, right? Because these warnings and these messages, these prophets were done to just, y'all gave them a warning because the people were doing what? The people had done what? They have went astray. They have gone off the right path. They have went off the right path. So the prophets and messenger was coming to warn them. Get y'all self together. It's like Jonah trying to go to Nineveh and warn the people. So brothers and sisters, so when we get the teaching, some of us, we get the teaching this stuff. See, Deuteronomy 28, see, it said that we was going to go into captivity. It said that. It said, no, it told you if you don't obey YAH, you were going to go into captivity. That was nothing that was definite. Like it's like the Christians teach that it was a prophecy that Jesus had to come, that he was going to come. And no, sir, no, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am. Only thing that will happen that these prophets are just warning you. And it's just like today. We have the choice, it was like Cain, to do the right thing, or and rule over this sin and disobedience, because sin is just transgression against the Most High. We have the ability. We need to, even though sin's sitting at the door waiting on us with all this temptation and everything else, we have the ability to not do it, to rule over it and say, you ain't coming up in here. Get away. Go on now. I don't care how much you sit here and you try to tempt me. I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. So anyway, so we have to look at these stories from the Tanakh and learn the principles behind the stories and take it and to build ourselves up as humanity and do what is right. Do what is right by YAH, so we can and get this planet right? Get this planet back on track. Get this planet right. That's it, brothers and sisters. We have the capability today, and we're supposed to be so technological, advanced, so advanced in education and everything else. But it seems to be we are way off than anybody else we've probably seen way in ancient times. But we have the capability of being better than any society that ever existed. But we got to get it right. We got to align back up with the Creator. We got to line back up with right ruling, right judgment, and right action, brothers and sisters. You're not, like I said, it's not our way, but it's YAH's way, Yahweh. It's not our way, brothers and sisters, that has to be done. But it says his will. As y'all know that New Testament say, YAH, his will must be done. I agree. It has to be his will that must be done. So the tabernacle, again, we're not here to teach racial doctrine. We ain't got time for that. Because like I said, we know, far as the Moray David Israel line, we know there's people that hell can be wicked as crap and have been throughout history, whether you black, white, turquoise, yellow, and green. There's wicked people every damn well. right? So we are just here to teach righteousness according to Yah, because Yah did say that Israel, notice Israel would be the light unto the world. Israel would be the light unto the nations, as it would say. To the nations. Y'all heard what it said? The nation. It said Israel. So when you say Israel, you're not talking about the 12 tribes, because you already talk about the 12 tribes when you said Israel. Now, I know I'm not talking about the split when there was a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom. I'm talking about the whole 12. We know these other nations are people who are not Israelites. We say Goim or non-Israelites. We are supposed to be the light unto them. So with all these nations, we ain't talking about just all black nations, dark-skinned, melanated, copper-toned nations. We're talking about all nations we're supposed to be a light unto, so they can serve Yah and do the right thing. All right, Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. May the Most High be with you and keep you, brothers and sisters. But I just had to come in here today. What do really, the tabernacle, what do we stand on? What do we really teach? And we're not here to teach racism. We're not here to teach our own doctrine. David, Israel, and myself, we're not here to teach you about nobody coming back to save you, but only Yah. So this is what some of the principles we're here to do. All right, shalom. Till next time, brothers. And don't forget to check us out right there you can check it out on TalkShoe with Moray David Israel, where he hosts the classes and things right there. Not things, y'all, but he hosts the classes right there on TalkShoe, which you can actually catch him throughout iHeartRadio, the Apple Podcast Store, Amazon, Pandora, TuneIn Radio, anywhere where you catch your major podcast. Y'all listen to podcasts. You can catch Liberation Tabernacle of YAH right there. And we have something coming up tonight we will be doing called Setting the Record. We might try to make this a series. We're going to see tonight called Setting the Record Straight on Tanakh. Setting the Record Straight on Tanakh. This is probably going to be a series of different classes where we're going to go in, and what we're doing, we'll be looking at scriptures, and we'll look at certain things people have been saying that a certain scripture or a certain chapter of Tanakh is teaching, and we're going to go in and set the record straight on things. So these misconceptions that people have been using and concocting a doctrine upon, and we're going to go in and we're going to look at it and study it and go in and like I said, get the moral of the story and go in from there. So we're going to set the record straight. And that's what we're going to start doing starting tonight right there on TalkShoe. We will actually be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right there on TalkShoe. Yeah, right there on TalkShoe tonight, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, so right after Shabbat, we will be going on, setting the record straight on Tanakh, but you still can catch it in the archive. So there's still been archives, so you can catch us. All right, shalom, brothers. Because we want to start actually to getting into basically having more classes and basically even virtual classes. So anyway, I gotta get this email to y'all, brothers and sisters, because we want to start doing having some virtual classes and everybody even coming in. So if you want to be a part of the tabernacle. A part of the tabernacle, we do everything virtually, because I'm in Memphis, my brother, he's in another state, Virginia. But we want to start having virtual classes where we can actually start studying the scriptures, going into the scriptures, looking at scriptures and learning the scriptures. So have our virtual classes. So I had an email, I hadn't used it in so long. So we want to know if you want to be a part of the tabernacle and start studying and things, so we can start getting the virtual classes. So we can start showing where we can meet and have days where we can start studying. Right now, the email you can just hit us up on is Lines by Radio, and I put it in the description. Lines via radio. That's our old one, but I had another one, Liberation Tabernacle of YAH. I had been on there so long, so I need to get that one, recover that email. And then when I started, but right now I'm gonna put a link in the description, and y'all can hit us up right there. You want to be a part of the tabernacle, so we can start getting classes. Just let me know so we can start trying to get these virtual classes going. All right, shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom. May the Most High be with you. May the Most High keep you, brothers and sisters. Be safe out here. Try to stay cool out here, because it is hot. It is, I call it like hot tamale. It's hot as jalapenos. All right, shalom.